والعاقبة للمتقين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله محمد وآله وآل بيته وأصحابه أجمعين. أما بعد، أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن. صدق الله العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الحبيب الكريم. نحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الصلاة والسلام عليك يا رسول الله وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا حبيب الله. الصلاة والسلام عليك يا رسول الله وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا حبيب الله. Brothers in Islam, it is the holy month of Ramadan Sharif, and today, every single day in the Muslim calendar has importance. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was a blessing sent to the nations, not only to the Muslims, but the total existence. And in this particular day today, it was the conquest of Makkah. And these situations, these events, they have significance in Islam. And I will explain to you at the end, inshallah, the reason that we elucidate and try to explain these particular days and these particular events and different personalities who were born in particular days and who departed on particular days. Today was the conquest of Makkah, where Muslims overwhelmed Makkah and they took back their lands and they marched into Makkah without any arms, and this was recognized in the Muslim calendar, a very special day. And the personalities that were involved in these actions, they were told to us by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that they are more superior than the Muslims that will follow and that will come after. And the Muslims that became Muslims or accepted Islam after the conquest of Makkah, they could not be equalized with the ones that they accepted Islam before the conquest of Makkah. So we see that all the prosperities were given by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he engraved that the Muslims that became Muslims before the conquest of Makkah, they were superior to the ones that became Muslims after. And the reason for this is that they endured great hardships. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he explained all of these situations to us very clearly. And how were prosperities given? How were ranks given? They were given by way of the choice of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or somebody enduring some difficulty, or pleasing Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in a particular way. Now, I will explain to you that Sayyidina Bilal al-Habshi, may Allah be pleased with him, he endured great hardship in Islam, in the early parts of Islam. He was subject to great torture by the mushrikeen. And so therefore, this heartache, this endurance of torture that he suffered, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he loved him so much, and he gave him the rank that even on the night of ascension, when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam went into Jannah, he comes back and he explains to us that he heard the footsteps of Hazrat Bilal in Jannah. So this rank, this position was given to him by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Last week I explained that how Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu became a Muslim. It was Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam's choice that he supplicated in the court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he blessed Hazrat Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu with Iman, and he became a Muslim, and he was a great personality. The same way Hazrat Abu Bakr was given this rank, this superior rank by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. How so? That on the night of Ascension, when Rasulullah came back, when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was given the message, he explained it to Hazrat Abu Bakr, and he accepted it with open arms. He said, Sadaqta ya Rasulullah. He said, Sadaqta. And this word will echo through eternity, that this was his. Not many people know him by the name of Abu Bakr or his real name, but they know him by the name of Abu Bakr Siddiq, because the language, the words he used when he accepted Islam. But Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave him the superior rank. Now, if we go through all of the Sahaba, we will see that all of the ranks, all of the positions, all the prosperities were given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or by choice of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or by way of their actions, what they did in Islam, and how they, when they endured hardship, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave them the rank. And the same applies to the Muslims that accepted Islam, that accepted Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam before the conquest of Makkah. Now, these ranks, you see, Islam was an enterprise. It was Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam's job was to spread the message of Islam, to promulgate the deen. And this was a selection that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he picked out from the nations, that the best persons that would fit the jobs. And verily so, they were great personalities like Sayyidina Umar and Sayyidina Abu Bakr, Hazrat Bilal Habshi, Hazrat Usman Ghani. But you see, they had a shared interest. The shared interest was the promulgation of deen, was the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the message of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And you see, all of these positions were either selected by Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, or they were selected on account of their actions or what they did, or account of the mere choice of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, or the choice of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And all of these, this was a joint enterprise. Their shared interest was to promulgate the deen. So therefore, when these particular days come, we elucidate and try to expound their personalities, open up their lives, and study them. And we study them for the reason that they had done their actions, their amal, they done them, and they have passed on. But this is a form of a lesson for us, and not only for us, for the next generations, our children, that they should understand what these personalities did, so they can live their lives according to their lives. Because what is the definition of Ahl Sunnah? He said, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he says that Sunnah wal Jamaat, when Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says that all of the nations will go to hellfire except for one, and the Sahaba asked, who are they? He says, Hum Ahl Sunnah wal Jamaat. And they further asked, because this was the first time that this word was used. There was no definition for it. So when this definition was asked from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, Ma ana alayhi al-yawma wa ashabi. So the definition of Ahl Sunnah is that the ideology, the belief, the doctrines, the concepts that I have today, and the doctrines of my Sahaba. If you find that your actions are exemplified in the actions of the Sahaba, you are a Sunni. So therefore, it is necessary for us to understand all these personalities, not only one or two or three. And these selections were made by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or by their actions, what they did, or by the mere choice of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we have to understand that the Imam Sahib, the Shaykh Sahib, the Beed Sahib, when he tries to explain to you the stories that you have heard over and over again, this is not that he doesn't understand, or that Islam is very short, or that it is limited. No, Islam is very vast. The reason why we keep explaining them these personalities is that you learn from their character. You learn that how a Muslim should be brave, how a Muslim should be generous, like Hazrat Sayyidina Usman radiallahu ta'ala. And you should understand that how bold Hazrat Umar Farooq radiallahu ta'ala anhu was. And these were selections made by Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. But today, I only have about 5 minutes. I would like to explain to you, because today is the conquest of Makkah. And after Maghrib, it is the martyrdom of Hazrat Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu, that he was martyred on the 21st of Ramadan. So therefore, we have to understand that Hazrat Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu as well, that when he was given the superior ranks, who gave the superior ranks to Hazrat Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu? Was it Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam? Was it by way of his actions? Or was it Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And when this rank was given, you see, Hazrat Umar Farooq radiallahu ta'ala anhu was given the rank by Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. It is mere choice that he supplicated that, oh my Lord, I would like Hazrat Umar to become a Muslim. He should be in our rows. And this supplication was accepted. Sayyidina Umar radiallahu, Sayyidina Abu Bakr, how did this happen? He says when Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam explained his message to him, he without any hesitation, he says, Sadaqta ya Rasulullah, Sadaqta. He said, this is the truth ya Rasulullah. What you are saying is the truth. So this is by way of his actions, his beliefs, and he says later that he understood Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam to be a very noble person, a special person. And when Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam announced his prophecy, he accepted with open arms. You see, Hazrat Bilal, he was accepted because of his hardships, what he did, the torment that he endured by the Mushrikeen. But here Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu, could I have my book? Can I have my book? And I would like to, not in my own language, not in my words, but the words of a great scholar by the name of Hazrat Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. He collects a hadith in this book. And sometimes I have referred to this book many times. The name of this book is Fadail al-Sahaba. What this means is that the excellences of the Sahaba, and what a beautiful book it is. It doesn't only talk about Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala. It talks about every single Sahabi. And it should be taught, it should be learned, it should be read. Because it explains to us all their characters, what they did, how their lives were, what Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said about them. But we should understand and try to understand all the Sahaba. But particularly because Hazrat Ali Karmallah Wajhul Kareem, his martyrdom was on the 21st. And I should like to just explain that who chose Hazrat Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu to become superior in his fields and in the nation. How was it? Was this done by Rasulullah? Was it done by his actions, what he did, what he taught, the battles that he fought? Who gave the rank to Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu? And this, just a short commentary about who this person was. Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal is not just a simple personality. He is a teacher. He was a teacher of Imam Bukhari. He was a teacher of Imam Muslim. He was directly or indirectly teacher of all the muhaddithin, all the traditionalists. So to refute this gentleman, you would refute 90% of all the ahadith that you have. Because he was the ustad. He was the teacher of all of them. He was the teacher of Muslim. He was the teacher of Imam Bukhari and the rest. And also the 10% that I say 90, I say 100, because he was also the Imam of Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani. You understand that Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani, he was a Hanbali. He followed Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal in his fiqh. And what he writes on a courtesy to Hazrat Mufakkir Islam, this 253 page number of this big book, and I shall read this hadith to you word by word, so that you know that what I am saying to you, it is not my words. This is not the words of any Sufi, or any alim, or any mufassir, but this is the words of the Sahaba, and this is the words of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and the chain of transmission is all correct up to Hazrat Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. He writes it, he compiles it in his own book. He says on page 253, he says, it is a lengthy chain. I shall come to the hadith. An Salaman qala سمعت حبيبي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Look at the words that the Sahaba used for Rasulullah. He says, سمعت حبيبي. He says, I heard my beloved. Yani Rasulullah. He says, I heard my beloved say to me, Habibi, who was my beloved, and he explains who his beloved was. He says, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He says, يقول كنت أنا وعلي Nuran baina yaday Allah. He says that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam informs us that kuntu ana wa aliyun nuran baina yaday Allah qabla an yahluka Allamah. ب14,000 عام فلما خلق الله آدم قسم ذلك نور جزئين فجزء أنا وجزء علي. He says that the creation, before the existence, before mankind, 14,000 years before Hazrat Adam alayhi salatu wasalam was created, he says, my nur, my matter, and Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala was matter, was selected by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Say subhanallah. This was before the creation, before mankind. It says 14,000 years, and it is reported by Hazrat Sulaiman Farsi. And he says that I heard it from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, page 253 of Fazail Sahaba. And he says that my matter and the matter of Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu was one. We were together in the court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He says then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he split it into two. And one of the parts of this nur was Fajuzun Ana. It is going, but it was me. And he says the other part of this nur was named Ali. And he says this was before the creation, 14,000 years before the creation of Hazrat Adam alayhi salatu wasalam. So this selection of Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu, who was martyred on the 21st of Ramadan Sharif, this personality, this great personality, he was a selection by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala before the creation. And this is written by Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal in Fazail al-Sahaba, page 253. And what a beautiful book this is. The hadith before it, the time has finished. Why would I explain many hadiths? And it is, the hadiths are not only about Hazrat Ali karramallahu wajhul kareem, but they are about all the Sahaba. Every single one of them. So this is our aqidah, that we try to understand every single companion, but on their particular days, we try to elucidate only their personalities, so that the most time could be spent with them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the ability to understand the Sahaba, and particularly the Sayyidina Ali karramallahu wajhul kareem on this particular day. Like I said last Friday's sermon, that on this particular day we should take time out to understand Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu, try to understand his life, what he did,